Hi, this is Rachelle with Journal Life's Journey, and I thought I'd pop on and share how I make background papers for my Instagram photos and videos and reels. So I made these back around Christmas to use as backdrops for my videos and photos. And I just want to show you how I did it. I just used 12 by 12 papers that I knew I wouldn't be using for anything else. So I have this paper pad here that I kind of been working on that has quite a few pages of things that I won't be using. For instance, this weekly or week of calendar thing, I won't be using that for anything. So I'm going to use this. Now you can do the back or the front. It just gives me some satisfaction to cover up the front. But again, you can use either side. And I use something to protect my surface. This is a silicone mat that I got from Amazon. I'm going to be using some gesso and my paints of choice. I want this to be a light pink. So I have a pink color here called Pink Parfait from by Apple Barrel, and I'm pretty sure this comes from Walmart. And then I have some white to lighten this pink, and I may need some more white because it feels a little empty, but I have some somewhere. And then I have my brayer, and I was using it for something else, but we're gonna work on this. Now again, I could use the other side, and actually the foil is a little harder to cover, but I still just want to cover this side. I don't know why I am like that, but that is how I am. So I'm just gonna put some gesso on here. Now this is clear gesso that's already on the brayer, but hopefully that won't cause a problem. So then I'm just gonna take the brayer. This is easier than trying to take a spatula or a paintbrush to me. It's faster. And cover up the design. And try to get it as even as possible. The reason I like this is it's not just painted paper when you use the gesso. It gives it like a leathery feel. It makes it a lot more sturdy. So not only does it help cover that design, it gives it some weight to the paper. So we're probably gonna need to let this dry and come back, or I could hit it with the heat gun a little bit. Let's see. It's not really dry, but I'm gonna add just a little bit more because like I said, the foiled areas are resistant to being covered. So I'm just gonna add a little more, and then we're gonna wait and let this dry completely. Because what the gesso doesn't hide, we can hide with the paint. Or we might just do a whole other layer of gesso. We'll see. Okay, so we are back and the gesso is dry, but you can see, let's scrape that off. But as you can see, you can still see the lines from the foil. So we're gonna do another layer of gesso. Put it a little thicker this time. And put a little bit more because I got a feeling once this dries, it's gonna show lines again. So let's add some more. Yeah, it's gonna show. So this is a good example of why you could just use the other side, the white side of the paper, if it's not double-sided paper. So, but anyway, I'm gonna roll it one more time, then I'm gonna leave it to dry. And then I'm just gonna clean my brayer off to the side on this paper that I had already started on on, but I was using the wrong gesso. Let's see if I can do this without making a mess. Oops. Okay. So let's let this dry and we'll be back. Okay, so we are back and ready to paint, I think. Let's see if we can peel this up off of the mat. So I can still see some indentations of where the foil is, but I think that's probably due to the process that they go through when they add foil to the scrapbook paper. Okay, so I'm not gonna mix this separately. I'm just experimenting here. I'm gonna put them on together. So the pink, this is almost stuck together, and some of the white. Ew. That's gross. Okay. All right. So let's see what we can do. So I'm gonna take my brayer, and I do not like this pink at all. It's too bright. It's almost fluorescent. So let's see if we can dull it down a little bit more. I feel like I need some other color mixed in with it, but I don't know what that would be. So we're gonna add some more white. And I actually looked for a lighter pink color, but I wasn't able to find one. I think this will be okay with the white that I've added to it. Not so fluorescent looking, just a light pale pink. So I think I'm gonna let this dry and see how it turns out. Let's clean this glob up right here. And so then I'm just gonna clean off my brayer on this scrap paper here. Before I go rinse it off. Okay, so we'll let this dry and see what it looks like. And I wanted to do some other colors, like some purple colors, but let's see what this is gonna look like. This is still wet, but I'm gonna set it aside to dry so we can start on the next one. Okay, so I'm gonna use this piece that I've just been cleaning my brayer off on. It already has a coat of clear gesso on it. Let me make sure I got the right bottle here. Nope, this is the one. Okay, so we're just gonna add some white gesso, if I can get it open. Okay, so just gonna take the brayer. Hopefully the paper will relax and unwrinkle once it gets wet. I don't know, hope so. So I'm gonna let that dry and we'll repeat the process the same way we did with the other one. Okay, so I put the other piece aside to dry. I'm gonna go ahead and just sew one more piece, or maybe a couple more pieces, we'll see, so that I can have some in rotation ready to go. Put a little bit more on here near the edges. It's probably overdoing it, but let's move this over a little bit so I can see. Okay, so I guess that's it for the gesso, and I'll go clean my brayer, let everything dry. We are back. This is the pink. It's dry. It's still a weird color pink to me though. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I'm going to try it in a video and see how it goes. And then here are the two that I just sewed. I think this was the last one, so it needs another coat. So I'm going to go ahead and put another coat on this one, and then we are going to paint the other one. So let's give it a quick coat so we can set it aside. So let's go ahead and set this aside. So I'm not gonna clean the brayer. Let's pull this in. Feel like I need to go over this one again too. Let's try. I'm just gonna go ahead and paint this one. I think I only went over it once, but it had other gesso on it. So I let my son use my paints and he did not clean them very well. Okay, so this is, I want to be like a, yeah, these are old. That's disgusting. Yuck. Okay, we already got gesso on the brayer. Let's put some of this lumpy white paint on here and see what we can do. It's not bad. Let's get the lumps out. Just add a little more paint. Hopefully it's not going to be too lumpy. Okay, I think we're done with the lavender. It's just gonna have some patches, but I don't necessarily mind that. I don't like a flat color. I think that's kind of what disturbs me about the pink. So we're gonna go with it like it is and leave well enough alone. Okay. So I'm gonna put this one aside to dry and check on my other one. Okay, so this one is still a little damp, but I'm gonna play with it a little bit and see what I can do. I want more of a hot pink color, and I think I probably made a mistake putting the purple, but maybe if I mix in some red, I can get a color that I like. Okay, let's see what we get. Oh, the red's gonna overpower. Need to get my other white paint. Okay. Let's see what we can do with a little more fluorescent pink. No, I'm gonna have to overpaint this. Okay, I don't like that color, so we're gonna paint over it once it completely dries and see if we can do better. I do have a fuchsia color paint. It's just not one of these inexpensive craft paints, so we'll try that once this dries. So I'll be back.